Amoki asks about her family in the Silent Woods. When you investigate their hut, the only trace of them you find is an abandoned doll. Naru and Gumo sail away from the comfort and safety of their home in the forest of Nibel because their friends need help. Ori leaves Ku's lifeless body at a shrine, where it stays for the rest of the story. The emotions these beautiful, poignant moments elicit are evidence of Ori and the Will of the Wisps' mastery of two irrevocably intertwined elements, fondness and loss. Neither can be had without the other, and their perfect combination is the art of saying goodbye. Fondness permeates every action in Ori. Ori and Naru take in Ku, the flightless progeny of the owl Kuro, who was their enemy up until the very end of the Blind Forest. They give the despondent owlet her mother's feather so she can attach it to her malformed wing and finally fly. This innate desire to help and see things get better shades Ori's journey. The hub upgrades are rooted in helping others, building homes for those who the decay has unfortunately dislodged, braving perilous pits and platforming challenges to retrieve a lost acorn, hop-skipping over Niwen to find the inhabitant most in need of a bowl of soup, planting seeds, and seeing them grow. As Niwen grows more fond of you, you grow more fond of it. Friendships blossom between you and a bear, waking from his long slumber, a spider who you help rid of her demons, a frog whose domain you restore to glory. Routes once blocked are opened. Ori's ever-evolving means of locomotion turn navigation of the forest into a form of jubilant expression. Hollows are bettered by your presence. You are an agent of goodness, and as all of this is happening in the world, you grow more fond of Ori themselves, which makes the losses hit that much harder, build you up, to tear you down. From the start, we know loss is coming. Ku's feelings of sadness and unfulfilled potential grow. When she is finally granted her mother's feather and can fly, we know along with Ori and Naru that Ku's time with us has an end date, one that is fast approaching. The potential of Ku's destiny makes her demise hurt even more. Instead of flying above the treetops, she is cast into a dark wood, stripped of her means of flight, left scared and alone. And when Ori finally finds her, she is ripped away so suddenly and viciously that the sting lingers for the remainder of the story. We never got a chance to say goodbye. The inciting incident of the game is that we need that opportunity to say goodbye to our friend, at least one more time, for our loss is unfulfilled. But that need not be the case with all loss. Contrast Ku's death with Quolok's sacrifice. Our guardian of the marsh dies protecting his land and rooting out the evil that so plagued it. A noble closure, a satisfying goodbye. The same goes for Shriek, a hope of normalcy taken away due to her defects, family lost, and she snatches away our one hope of reviving Ku. Yet, when this great antagonist finally passes away beneath the petrified figures of her parents, we feel the loss the same as we did with Quolok. A life cut short, but at just the right time for us to have said goodbye, and for it to have meant as much as it possibly could. See, loss is a part of the forest. Decay consumes the dead trunks so they may nourish new growth. Rebirth and rejuvenation can only come after something has died and succumbed to decay. Loss is built into the fabric of life, and it will forever continue to arrive. So what do we do when loss meets us at the door? We say goodbye. The forest is always sacrificing to save parts of itself, which is exactly what Ori has to do to save Ku and return balance to all. Say goodbye to their life so others may breathe again. A melancholic final act of intertwined fondness and loss that so beautifully encapsulates what a goodbye should be. And at the end, after they become the spirit tree, Ori finally gets their goodbye with Ku, and they watch as the owl flies away from Niwen to realize her destiny. The loss is finally fulfilled. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is in and of itself a solemn goodbye. A goodbye to not only these characters and this forest, but to this take on the genre. While Moon Studios leaves the door open for another dip into the world of spirit trees and forest guardians, I suspect they will push in a new direction. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the highest height they can achieve in the current setting. Masterful movement, combat, storytelling, mechanics, and level design. So perhaps it is time to say goodbye. The driver for my experience with Ori and the Will of the Wisps has been fulfilled, so to it I can at last say goodbye. Though its loss will forever sting, I'll always look back on my time with Ori fondly, until it too becomes like those half-remembered afternoons spent exploring woods with no names.